Welcome back to JVH-Comix. I'm Julian. I'm currently a student at BYU, and today I wanted to talk about scripting. So basically, one of the first things you want to do when you're scripting is to start with a rough draft. I'm sure everybody's taken an English high school class, and every time you start an essay, you always start with a rough draft. This allows you to get ideas down and get kind of a picture from start to finish. Something a wise man told me was, it's easier to improve on something that's already there than to try to make up the best thing you can right on the spot. It's easier to edit the ideas and make them better than try to create gold on the spot. So while doing the rough draft, don't worry about creating the best ideas. Don't worry about creating a good finished product. What you need to do is just put the ideas down and edit them later. For comics, it's really easy to start drawing a storyboard while you're scripting. Especially if you're decent at drawing, it helps you to see the drawing, how you want it to look. Maybe even something in the drawing could give you ideas for the story later. Unless you're working for some other company like DC or Marvel, the only person that needs to understand your storyboard and your script is you. So make sure to do it in a way that you feel comfortable with, a way that will allow you to get your story to see the light of day. Make sure if you're just a beginner, like straight fresh out new, I know I said this in my other videos, but make sure to start on a smaller project at first. A lot of people have a big goal of starting this huge mini series, or they want to write the best graphic novel next to Watchmen. Those people who made those comics have years of experience under their belt. If you have no experience, it's going to be very hard for you to have the skill to write those kind of comics. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying it's really hard. If you start with lower comics, you'll be able to understand the workflow. You'll be able to gain experience, and it would become a lot easier for you to write those big comics later on. You want to gradually build up. You don't go to the gym and hit the 500 bench right away. You start small and gradually build up. Make sure you just keep going to the end. If the comic sucks, it sucks. But at least you created something. That's the important part. Somebody who creates a crappy comic all the way is better than the best artist who doesn't complete any projects. That's one of my biggest problems with especially this YouTube channel. That's why I took this huge hiatus, is I felt like I needed to be perfect. I felt like I couldn't release a video if it sucked. But the thing is, who freaking watches these videos? If you're watching this video, thank you. But I shouldn't be worried about what other people are going to think of my product. What I should be worried about is whether or not I'm getting the project done. I would rather have 10% of something than 100% of nothing. One thing to remember, especially when creating comics, is good storytelling can hold up bad art. It's really hard for good art to hold up bad storytelling. It's just the way it goes. So if you are having trouble with your drawing skills, if you feel a little nervous drawing comics, don't worry about it. Try to come up with a good story. Try to get some ideas down. And the comics will gradually become better. Make sure to keep practicing. Keep working on it. So let's talk about scripting. And I'll put some pictures up on the screen. The first thing I do when I script is I have usually an idea in mind. So you take your ideas and try to come up with a story out of the ideas. The idea I came up with was taking a children's game, Dead Man, and making actual zombies come out. Like it was a spell to create life, and the zombies will come out and eat the kids or something like that. I was working on the story, and it just didn't feel right. So what I did was I changed it to have a kid who gets made fun of curse the game. Zombies will come out, eat the kids, and then the kid who is being made fun of will celebrate, but then he gets eaten himself in a kind of turn of events karma kind of deal. So what I did is I wrote a quick script. I just kind of wrote this stuff down. And then I took that script and I thought of ways to improve it. And I wrote another rough draft of the script. It's not very long. 2 pages tops is what I have. What I did next to that, though, I thought was more important than that script was the storyboard. The storyboard's basically a visual guide to the script. So I took my characters, put them into the drawings. Very, very basic, looks like crap, but it helps me to know what kind of placement I want. If I don't like the way the drawing looks, then I can edit it. And that's the thing. You can't edit in your mind because your mind isn't necessarily concrete. You have ideas, but it's not concrete ideas. When you put them down, you're able to see, oh, this idea looks all right. Or, man, this idea looks like crap. So I'm going to edit and change this to make it better looking for what I want. So this script and storyboard's very rough draft. I didn't work very long on this. I think this took me like maybe an hour tops. But now I have the basic ideas of the story that I want. This would be the first step, I'd say. I want to give you guys some homework. Okay, for those of you who are watching my videos to learn how to make comics, I want you to take an idea that you've had. Maybe you've written it down somewhere. Maybe you just come up with it watching this video. It doesn't matter how bad the idea is. I want you to take some kind of idea and create a small script and storyboard out of it. I want this to be 1 to 2 pages of script and maybe 3 to 5 pages of storyboard. And when you guys do that, I'd like you to share it with me, and I'd love to see the kind of work that you guys are doing. I mean, look, I'm not a master at anything. I don't believe I'd be a very good mentor, but I want to work with you guys so that we can all be accountable for each other. I want to be able to have good stories being told in comics. And so if we all work together to build each other's skill up, then I believe that we can make really, really good comics for other people to enjoy. Anyway, that's about it. Make sure to subscribe if you guys like my videos. Please send me those scripts and storyboards that you guys will do. I'll be sure to check them out and comment on them. And, I really appreciate anybody that's watching this video. Thanks a lot.